Hey, brother. Um, Ever since you sent out that message this morning, I've been asking the Lord for something from Him for you, whether it be a word or a vision. That today has been kind of busy, and I've had very little opportunity to quiet my mind until now, right before bed. And having done so, I actually received a vision very quickly. It was a very vivid and detailed one. Some elements of it might be difficult for me to describe accurately. In the beginning of the vision, I saw a man who, by the way, I was not quite able to identify and would strangely sometimes experience in a first-person way as if I was him, but then other times I would in a third-person way as if I was observing him. And this man was standing in a wide open grassy field, very green, lush grass, and there were rolling hills in the distance, and it was a very bright, sunny day. But the most striking feature of this scene was the array of clouds in the sky, even though it was still very sunny and bright. And these clouds were kind of like spotted clouds, so it could almost be described as like an army of clouds that covered the entirety of the sky. It was a very magnificent image, very glorious. And what took place first was there was a young man that came into the vision. I don't know where he came from, but he was riding a bicycle. And this scenario, well, if you've seen the movie E.T., which I'm not sure if you ever have, it's about, it stands for extraterrestrial. It's about a little alien, kind of a silly movie, but in one of the most iconic scenes in the movie is that the alien is riding in the basket of a young boy's bicycle as the boy is riding the bicycle, and actually enables the boy at one point to fly or levitate for a certain amount of time. And while there was no alien in the vision, I did see that this young man, as he rode into my field of view, did begin to levitate off the ground and actually rode his bicycle straight into the sky and then disappeared. And then what took place next was all these clouds began to shift and come together to form the shape of an oval in the sky. And rather than it being like a big cloudy mass in the shape of an oval, it formed an outline, the outline of an oval, which itself came to create a portal into another realm, it seemed. This cloudy outline. And this is where it begins to be quite difficult to describe, because there's a lot of detail in this part of the vision. But rather than see directly into this realm, I was only able to see what was like a series of images that this portal was presenting, almost as if it was a screen, a TV screen. And the images that I saw were like very normal scenarios from everyday life, like just everyday events that would take place in like a family or a community or a small town, or just very simplistic and almost whimsical and Um, yeah, just very ordinary scenes from everyday life, like a man working in a field, or a mother taking care of her children. Uh, those kind of that kind of imagery. And what took place after that was those images kind of stopped playing for a time, and I saw the figure of Jesus was now standing in the middle of that shape, or that portal. And interestingly, he was wearing a blue robe, a very vivid blue robe, or I guess robe is the right word. Um, Garment, I guess, is the better word, actually. My bad. And he, in the vision, he threw down an object towards the man that had been witnessing these events in the heavens, and the man caught the object in his right hand, and it was a hammer. What happened next is this man held up the hammer, and the clouds that had previously been forming the outline of the portal began to conglomerate into a great mass of clouds that turned dark and stormy, and it then began to rain seeds. And these seeds, as they fell to the earth, were instantly planted into the ground, and just as instantaneously began to grow very rapidly into trees. But then these trees would not remain as individual trees, but would actually grow in themselves, uh, grow together to form tree-like structures in this field. And this was all taking place very quickly. And an interesting part in this stage of the vision was that the man continued to hold up that hammer as this was all taking place. And if he was in any way to lower the hammer, then this growth would begin to slow down and even deteriorate. But if he kept the hammer raised up, then it would continue just as rapidly. Of course, this is very reminiscent of Moses and him holding up the staff to ensure the victory of the Israelites in battle, as is talked about in the Old Testament. But what took place next, the last part of the vision, was that I saw the final product or outcome of this process of growth in an aerial point of view. And I saw that a town had been created in the shape of a menorah with its 7 branches. And while I don't have much detail as to where specific buildings were in this town and what the purpose of each was, I did have a pretty strong impression that this central branch, the tip of the central branch, where the flame of that particular candle would be, was where the house of the Lord was located. And I don't even know exactly what that means. and that also the other 6 branches at their tips would be the various dwelling places for the Lord's people, and that the rest of the branches of this town, including the base, and also where it widened out at the very bottom of the menorah, was to contain other buildings and areas and properties and real estate that would usually be included in any town, like a marketplace or shops or maybe even other dwelling places. I'm not sure exactly, but that was the end of the vision.